going to do a nice bone broth soup using the Flavor Chef's certified organic genuine chicken bone broth. This soup is called the carrot ginger soup. I like to call it a soup, one vegetable soup formula. So we could use carrots, we could use broccoli, we could use cauliflower, we could use zucchini. We're using basically one vegetable. We're going to start with some basic principles. We're going to use about a half a cup of white onion. I'm going to start with some coconut oil. I got the pan on kind of warm over here already. So we're just going to add a little of that coconut oil in there, probably about 2 tablespoons. And this is a dairy-free, gluten-free soup, of course. So we're going to add a little bit of our onion. You can hear that sizzle off there nice. About a half a cup. I'm doing a half of my recipe right now. You want to kind of get that to sort of sweat a little bit or saute. And what we're doing there is we're bringing out the flavor. So I'm also going to add, again, a little bit of real brand, real salt. Like a little shake in there. And that helps to bring out some of the flavor and some of the sweetness of the onions. Once that gets going, we're going to put a little bit of minced ginger in. And this is, again, where we're going to finish with a little ginger juice. But I like a little of fresh ginger in the base, too. When you're cooking in that oil, you're going to just extract all of those beautiful essential oils and a nice heat from the ginger. So we're going to add that nice ginger in there. So we're going to toss a little bit of the minced garlic in there as well. So we've got ginger, garlic, and onions sauteing together with a little bit of the sea salt. Going to bring out all that flavor. And then we're going to drop in, I have about a cup here, a cup and a half of carrots. I've got some yellow carrots and some orange carrots, heirloom carrots. I'm going to pull that around. Grab my handy dandy trophy high heat rubber spatula. I'm going to just let that sweat for a little while. And one last thing we're going to do here is I'm going to toss in a little bit of my parsley greens right at the beginning as well. That'll bring out some of the flavor of the parsley. We'll save some for the end. And put a little pinch of cayenne in there. And again, that's going to go in a little, don't like it too spicy, but you can go a little heavier if you want. The cayenne is going to help balance the flavor. You can hear that still sizzling in there. So now you've got all these vegetables cooking with a little bit of herbs, a little bit of cayenne pepper. Let's add a little bit of turmeric, another great Ayurvedic and delicious dried spice. Turmeric root actually is what it is. Nice and fresh. That's going to give a nice yellow component to it. Let that continue to sweat. And what we're doing here is just building the foundations of flavor. So the Flavor Chef likes to add a little salt at the beginning. I like to add my little bit of herb in the beginning. I like to put a little bit of the salt, the cayenne, the turmeric. All that oil is going to draw out those oils in those spices and really what they call blooming the spice. So the spices are going to bloom and that flavor is going to become pretty intense. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit, once that's nicely sweat, which it is, we're going to add about 2 cups of our bone broth. And then it's got about 10 minutes to simmer. Before it simmers, about 2.5 cups. Let that will come right back on. See, I haven't taken it off the heat either. I got it on high heat. So it's going to come right back to a high heat simmer. And then we're going to add some nice acid component as well. So we're going to take this Valencia orange juice in half, and you're going to just squeeze it right in there. And as I like to say to everyone, if they don't squeeze it like this into your salad or into your juice cup, it's not fresh squeezed. That's fresh squeezed. Fresh squeezed lemon, same thing, beautiful Meyer lemon. And what that does, a couple of things with the Meyer lemon and Valencia orange, which is in season here, it adds sweetness and an acid component, which is going to really bring that soup together. We got hot with the cayenne, we've got floral with the herb, we've got some beautiful turmeric, which is going to give it that earthiness, and then we have the sweetness from the onions and the carrots, and now from the orange and the lemon, and that also adds an acid component. So you got all 4 sides of your all 5 tastes in your mouth going, and that's really going to where we get the name the Flavor Chef from, because this is soup's going to be delicious. So we can also add things to the soup at the end. If you want to add a protein component, you could put some sliced chicken in. You could serve this with a piece of fish. It'll be very nice. It's going to be a nice thick soup. We're going to be using the immersion blender. We got about 10 minutes to let this simmer and let that carrots get super soft. Okay, so we're back. It's about 10 minutes simmer on a low simmer. It's a nice low simmer here. We're just going to taste the carrots just to make sure we got a nice soft carrot. I'll take it to the side. Carrots are nice and tender. Going to add a little bit of ginger juice, which we had from earlier. I'm going to add a little bit of coconut milk. This is a half a recipe, so I'm only going to do half. Well, this looks like it needs a little stirring here. Eek. Get something in there, maybe this. Oh yeah, good for everything, these rubber spatulas. I'm going to nice even consistency there. I'm going to put about half of that in there. Recipe calls for a whole can. We'll just blend that up. That's going to cream it out, give it some nice texture. And then we're going to put some fresh chopped mint in there. I'm just going to chop the mint. I took the leaves off the stems for this one. It's going to brighten it up and give it a nice floral component again. And then we're going to go ahead and puree it. With the immersion blender, I'm going to tilt it to the side. And I'm going to puree the whole thing. It should come out nice and thick. Soup consistency. It'll turn nice bright orange color. You can see the nice green from the herb in there. And then if you can taste it and adjust with a little sweetener if you need it. But this is going to be plenty sweet. These carrots are really beautiful. You see it's all coming down. A question was asked me the other day about the immersion blender versus the regular blender, and this is to me safer and cleaner. Again, what you want to do is make sure that immersion blender stays underneath the liquid. So you don't want to lift it up too high, it'll spray all over the place. So you want to keep it down, you can move it back and forth. That's sort of the technique. So you can do it for a few minutes. This is getting nice and pureed here. See it's turning nice and thick. This will be a little lighter than normal because I used a yellow carrot as well as an orange carrot. Oh yeah, it's all done there. This is nice because it just twigs right off. So you can put this over into the sink or on your table. So we want to taste and adjust the seasoning. I'll take a little out with the ladle. Beautiful. Got a nice lemon component, a little bit of heat going to the back, nice little sweetness on the front, and beautiful floral from the mint. So we would just take that, we could put it in a nice bowl, serve it up. Oh yeah. Creamy, delicious, great for recovery. Lots of gelatin from the chicken broth. Sweetness from the carrots. It's a great recovery soup. If you're ever ill, it's easy to digest. The carrots have been cooked. We've got nice sweetness from the onions, earthiness from the turmeric, and the valuable antioxidant principles of the turmeric. And you got a beautiful soup here, folks. This is our carrot ginger soup, finished with mint and coconut milk. Dairy free. From the Flavor Chef, signing off. Love is the ultimate spice.